Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to the series of Tadvidya Sambhasha Parishad, especially the series of Charaka Samhita Sutra Sthana, which we have started from the Trisreshani Adhyaya, that is the chapter 11th of Sutra Sthana. Today we will be dealing with the Vatakalakali Adhyaya, that is the 12th chapter of Charaka Samhita Sutra Sthana. The Vatakalakali Adhyaya is a Sambhasha Parishad. Aptly, we can see that as this is a Tadvidya Sambhasha Parishad which is going on. The Sambhasha Parishads which are described in the Charaka Samhita Sutra Sthana, among those, this Vatakalakali Adhyaya also is a Sambhasha Vidhi. It follows the Sambhasha Vidhi because it is a discussion between different stalwarts of the or Jignasus of Ayurveda who had come together to discuss about the Kala and Akala of Vata. Why this particular discussion happened is because there was a little confusion or samshaya always was there that what are the gunas of Vata and what are the gunas of Vata which are not going towards the right direction, or it is causing some disease in the body. As you know that the doshas are, when it is in the normal state, they will be doing the normal functions and it will be helpful for the sustenance of the sharira. Whereas if it is vikrita, if it is avikrita, then it will be doing all the functions properly. If it is vikrita, then it will cause diseases. Therefore, among all the doshas, Vata is considered to be more predominant, or it is a pradhana dosha. Everything moves because of Vata. You have already studied this particular shloka. Pittam pangu, kafam pangu, pangu maladhatavaha, vayuna yatvaniyante tatra gacchati meghavata. That is, without Vata, nothing can happen. In the Loka also, it is in the nature also, you can see that Vata is having a lot of predominance. The seasons, the wind, the very existence of the pranavayu, that is especially the oxygen, everything is dependent upon the vayu only. So the life of every human being or even every organism is dependent upon the Vata. So therefore, what are the Kala and Akala? Kala here refers to Guna. Akala means Aguna, or what will benefit us and what will not benefit us, or what is good and what is bad with relation to Vata. All these things have been discussed in this particular chapter. Or we can also say that the word Akala refers to the Vikriti or the Prakopa of Vata. That is, if the Prakopa of Vata happens, then what happens? Okay. So all these things will be discussed in this particular chapter. As this is a Sambhasha Parishad, many rishis have contributed and contributed their thoughts into this. And later there is Upasamhara, or there is Nirnaya by Atreya Punarvasu. Okay. So let us start with the Vatakalakali Adhyaya. Dvadashodhyayaha atato Vatakalakaliyam Adhyayam Vyakyasyamaha iti hasmaha Bhagavan Atreyaha. Vatakalakala jnanam adhikritya paraspara matani jignasamaanaha samupavishya maharshayah prapachur anyonyam kim guno vayuhu. They discussed these things. See, always whenever there is a meeting, there are some agendas. So the agenda will be listed or enumerating the important points to be discussed in the particular meeting. So this is also a meeting, or this is a parishad wherein these particular topics will be discussed. Therefore, the listing of the agenda have been done here. So, Kim Guno Vayu, what are the gunas of Vayu? Kimasya Prakopanam, how the Prakopana of this Vayu will happen? Upashamanani va asyakani, how the Upashamana of this. That is, first we are talking about what are the characteristics of Vata. Next we are talking what will happen if it is not doing its proper function. The next question will be, how should we tackle it, or how should we reduce the prakopa, or how can we combat with the prakopa of the Vata. Katam chainam asanghatam anavasthitam anasadhyam prakopa prashamanani prakopayanti prashamayanti va. How is it that it is having these three qualities. That is, the first one is Katam cha enam asanghathavantam. Asanghata means what? Sanghata means one which is bound, or one which is together, or one which can have a form, a particular form which can be identifiable. So here in Vata you can see that it is unidentifiable, or you cannot see it pratyaksha. It is not bound, or it is not something which is solid, or something which is not liquid also. It is not having a murtatva is not there. So it is not having a sanghata, it is not closely knit. So asanghatavantam, it is not having a particular shape, form. Then anavasthitam means, in the Tika, Chakrapani says that anavasthitam iti chalasvabhavam. It is having chalasvabhava, it is moving here and there. It has its own capacity to move. Pitta and Kapha can move, but has to have a initiation by the Vata only. Then only it can move. Otherwise, it cannot move. But chalasvabhavam. Swabhavam means what? It is its own nature. That is, Vata has its own nature of moving. Without any initiation also it can move by itself. That is the nature of Vata. So, anavasthitam, na avasthitam. It will not be sthita in a particular place. It is moving. That is called as anavasthitam. Then anasadhyam. Anasadhyam means what? You cannot hold it. As it is moving, as it is not having a sthiratva, it is not sthita somewhere. Therefore, you cannot hold it, or it is very difficult to hold it. Here, it is not that you cannot hold it at all. You cannot block it. It is possible to block the way of Vata, but once you block at one side, then because of the chalasvabhava, it can move the other side, right? So therefore, anasadhyam means what? You cannot control it. Difficult to control. It is not that you cannot control at all, but it is quite difficult to control it. That is why it is called anasadhyam. Asadhya means that is sadhya. That is, you cannot have a control on this particular movement. These are the qualities of Vata. So what they are telling is, what is the effect of it? It is asanghata, anavasthita, and also anasadhya. So therefore, as it is like that, it becomes a prakopana vishesha. Therefore, prakopana prashamanani prakopayanti prashamayanti va. So now, because of these qualities only, they will cause prakopa. That is, its own prakopa will happen in the sharira. How does it happen? That will be discussed further. So that is the topic of discussion here. And how to do the prashamana of it, how these particular qualities are responsible for the prakopana of the Vata, and how do we do the prashamana of it. Kani cha asya kupita kupitasya sharira asharira chalasya sharireshu charataha karmani bahisharirebhyo veti. So now we can see that these particular qualities are not only seen in the sharira, it is seen outside also. There is other way also, you can see that in the outside, there is in the loka also. Asharireshu, that is beyond the sharira also you can see these particular qualities of Vata. So what are the benefits of this, and what are the functions of this Vayu which is there in the loka also, Bahisharira. All these things have been told in this, or will be discussed in this particular chapter. So therefore, after reading out the agenda, or once this is told, or once this is discussed as announced that these are the points to be discussed, immediately Kushaha Sankritayanaha, the Sankritayana Rishi, says that these are the gunas of Vata, because that is the first agenda. What are the Kim Guno Vayuhu? What are the gunas of Vata? Therefore, he lists down these gunas, especially Shad Guna. Shad ime Vata Gunaha Bhavanti, he says. What are they? Rukshaha, Laguhu, Shitaha, Darunaha, Kharaha, Vishadaha, Shad ime Vata Gunaha Bhavanti. Now, in the Ashtanga Hridaya, you might have learnt about Tatra Ruksho, Lagu, Shita, Kharas, Sukshmas, Chalo, Anilaha. Right? This particular shloka is very, very familiar to you. But here you can see that little bit of change is there in the gunas which have been listed in this Vata Kala Kali Adhyaya. Kindly make a note of this particular 6 gunas which are responsible for the Prakopana of Vata, and also they are the guna. They are the Shad Guna of Vata, which are very, very important. First one is the Ruksha, second Laghu, third Shita, fourth Daruna, fifth Khara, and sixth Vishada. So what are these? Ruksha is, you know, that in general it is dryness, one which is caused due to dryness, that is called as Rukshatva. Laghu means one which has become light, right? Vata has this Laghu guna, you know that. And Shita guna is also associated with the Vata. Then you have the Daruna. Daruna guna means what? Daruna means one which is a little hard, okay? Then hard refers to something which is a difficult. Daruna is also having the meaning of difficulty. Then khara means what? One which can cause roughness is called as khara. Then vishada means one which is clear. It can be clear. There is kshalane vishadaha, it is told, right? So vishada means one which is very clear. For the clarity, vata is responsible. So it is not that vata will always cause any discomfort in the body. It can cause, if it is in the prakrita avastha, it will carry out all the functions very perfectly in the sharira. So therefore these 6 gunas are considered to be the guna of vata, which are fixed in for this particular chapter. In this particular adhyayartha, we are going to consider these 6 gunas of vata. Okay. So therefore, it is not that only vata, pitta, vata will be discussed in this particular chapter. The other doshas also will be discussed, of course. That is, vatadi doshas will be discussed here. Their guna and aguna also will be discussed. But the main focus here is of the vata, right? So then later you have tat shrutva, that is after listening to this vakyam Kumara Shira Bharadvaja uvacha. So for listening this Kumara Shira Bharadvaja, there is this particular rishi, he says that evam etadhyata bhagavanaha eta eva vataguna bhavanti sa to evam gunaihi evam dravyaihi evam prabhavaischa कर्मभिः अभ्यासमानैः वायुः प्रकोपमापत्यते समानगुण अभ्यासो हि धातूनां वृद्धिकरणमिति. So here he tells a concept, that is for the next question, that is kimasya prakopanam. Second question is kim asya prakopanam, how the prakopa of this vata will happen. Therefore that question is answered, or it is responded by Kumara Shira Bharadvaja. He says that Eta eva vatagunaha bhavanti. These are the vatagunas. Eta eva. These are 6 bhavas are the vatagunas. Specifically, he is telling this. So, he is accepting that there are 6 gunas. Whatever Kusha Sankritayanaha has told, that has been accepted here, and then he is going to further explain this, that because of the abhyasa of these gunas, the prakopa will happen. How? Sa tu evam gunaihi, evam dravyaihi, evam prabhavaischa karmabhihi abhyasamana vayuhu prakopamapattite. This line is very, very, very important. You can see that evam gunaihi, because of these gunas, the gunas will be where is the location of the guna? The location of the guna will be in a dravya, right? So yatrashitaha karanam samavai karanam, the karma and guna, that is karma and guna. Yatrashitaha gunaha karma samavai yatta dravyam, that is the guna and karma are in the samavai sambandha in a particular dravya, right? So therefore guna will be there in a dravya itself. So therefore evam gunaihi evam dravyaihi evam prabhavaischa. So you can see that in Vimanasthana first chapter also you have studied about this. That is, a particular dravya will have a guna and it will have a prabhava also. We have considered the rasa also there. Rasa prabhava, dravya prabhava, dosha prabhava, etc. So therefore we are considering the vata dosha here. Vata dosha is having certain gunas. So yatrashtaha karma gunaha, karma it is having, and it is also having a guna. Because of the guna itself there is a particular prabhava or the karma exhibited. So therefore karma bihi abhyasa manaihi. So here it is specifically told that the guna abhyasa should happen, or the karma abhyasa should be happen when the guna is further on stressed upon. Every time whenever it is overused, or this particular guna whenever it is seen in a very larger way or larger extent, or the intensity is more, That has to be considered here. So the intensity of the expression of the guna in the dravya, or the usage of that particular dravya which is having these particular 6 gunas, or the prabhava of this, that is the prabhava of the guna which is seen because of the karma. For example, if you are exposing yourself to a lot of cold wind, so that will increase the ruksha and the shita guna. Especially ruksha guna will be increased maximum. If you are doing ratri jagarana, then it will lead to ruksha vriddhi, right? So these are the examples wherein we can see specifically that because of the guna, or because of the dravya, or because of the prabhava, or because of the karma, that is any kind of action you do, these gunas will get aggravated, or these gunas will definitely be affected in a different way. Different way means what? Here the word used is prakopa. Prakopa means what? It is going to be overused here, and or here there is some vikriti. Prakarshena kopaha is going to happen. That means it is deviating towards the vikritatva from prakritatva. Deviation from the prakritatva is happening here. When you say prakopamapadyate, why they are telling? What is the reason for this? Samana guna abhyaso hi dhatuna vriddhi karanamiti. So here, when you consider the dhatu, here it is not the the rasadi dhatus which they are considered here. Considering here, it is the dhatu nam here means vata pitta kapha. That is the vata pitta and kapha. If they are once again aggravated because of the samana guna bhuishta guna dravya or karma, then this will lead to prakopa. Therefore they are telling samana guna abhyaso hi. The word abhyasa is very important here. Abhyasa manaha. Many times in the Vimanasana first chapter also this particular word is there. Satata abhyasamanam. That is, abhyasa means what? It is satata kriya. Sheelanam satata kriya it is called. That is, you make it a habit, and also repeatedly do something, or repeatedly get exposed to the guna, dravya, or the prabhava, or the karma, then it will lead to the prakopa. Therefore, once you do ratri jagarana, one day you do ratri jagarana, of course a certain kind of vata vriddhi will happen, but it may not affect you for a longer period of time, or it may not end up in a disease. But if you are doing jagarana, ratri jagarana continuously, that is, you make a habit of that, then definitely it will lead to the ruksha vriddhi. It is called the ratri jagaranam ruksham. So therefore that will happen definitely. Or exposure to any kind of shita padarth, shita vayu, or it may be shita ahara, or shita jala, or even usage of the gunas or the dravyas which are having these particular gunas like ruksha, laghu, shita, or khara. If these particular gunas are repeatedly taken, or you get repeatedly exposed to this, then it is important for us to understand that this will definitely lead to prakopa of the vata. Why I am stressing this is because this particular concept is very, very important to be understood for any disease as such. Because if you understand vata prakopa well, then you can treat any kind of disease, or you can even diagnose any kind of disease in a very, very easy way. Understanding the other doshas also will become very easy if you are understanding this particular concept. Okay. So samana guna abhyaso hi dhatunam karanam vriddhi karanam iti. So it is said that samana guna abhyasa will always lead to the vriddhi of the dhatu. Dhatu here means vata, pitta and sleshma. So therefore you can see that vriddhi karana, what is the vriddhi karana? Samana guna abhyasa. Sarvada sarvabhavanam samanyam vriddhi karanam. So vriddhi karana here are the gunas which are having the that is 6 gunas, whatever we are speaking about, ruksha, laghu, shita, kara, daruna and vishada gunas, as in the form of guna, or in the form of dravya, or in the form of karma. If it is excessive, then it will lead to this kind of prakopana of vata. So, listening to this, tat shrutva vakyam kankayano valhika bishaguvacha. Valhika Bishak he says that after listening to this, एवमेतद्यथा भगवानाः एतानि एव वातप्रकोपणानि भवन्ति. In this way only Vata-prakopana happens. And then he answers the next question, Upashamanani va asyakani. For that he is telling, that is, Etani eva Vata-prakopanani bhavanti, ato viparitani Vatasya prashamanani bhavanti. Therefore, we will continue with the same concept. Sarvada sarvabhavanam samanya vriddhi karanam. Hrasa hetur visheshasya pravritti rubhayasyatu. So hrasa hetu is what? The use of the viparita guna. So viparita guna have to be used here. That is what our Kankayana Bhalika Bishak is telling. Kankayana Rishi is telling that atato viparitani vatasya prashamanani bhavanti. Viparita to what? Viparita to the guna which have been a cause for the prakopa. The cause of the prakopa are what? The Shad Gunas, which have been Satata Abhyasamana of the Shad Gunas, which we have discussed earlier. So the Viparita Guna Abhyasa will lead to the Prashamana. Prakopana Viparyohi Dhatunam Prashama Karanam iti. He is telling Prakopana Viparyoho. Prakopana Viparya means the opposite of the Prakopa will become the Prashamana. He Dhatunam. Dhatu Nam here refers to once again Vata, Pitta and Kapha. We are not considering here the Rasadi Dhatu. We are considering the Vata, Pitta, Kapha as the Dhatu here. So they will become, that is the opposite gunas, will become the Prashama Karana. Karana means the cause for the Prashamana. Always we mainly bank upon the Karana for any Karya. We always go for the Hetu Viparita Chikitsa. In Ayurveda, Hetu Viparita Chikitsa is having a lot of importance because Hetu Parivarjana or Hetu Chikitsa is always given a lot of importance. So the Karana is to be found out first before the understanding of the disease. If you do not understand the Karana, then the Karya Utpatti, whatever has happened, especially the Roga, the Prashamana of the Roga cannot happen without understanding the Karana of it. Therefore, the prakopa of the vata also, when understanding any dosha prakopa, the understanding of this concept is very, very important. Therefore, they are telling that prakopana viparyo hi dhatunam prashamana karanani bhavanti. So, prakopana viparya, the opposite, viparya means opposite of the gunas which have been enlisted above have to be, the abhyasa has to be done. Now earlier they have told that samana guna abhyaso hi dhatunam vriddhi karanam. Therefore prakopana viparya abhyasa should be done so that the prashamana happens in a right way. Tat shrutva, after listening to this, then Badisha Dhamargava says, that is Vakyam Badisho Dhamargava vacha evam etadyatha bhagavanaha etani eva vata prakopana prashamanani bhavanti. So in this way only vata prashamana happens. Tat yatha hi enam asanghatam anavasthitanam anasadhyam prakopana prashamanani prakopayanti prashamayanti va tatha anuvyakyasyamaha. So now they are telling that what is the mode of action of this. Now we simply said, that is earlier they have told that these are the gunas which will do the prakopa of the vata. Then the opposite, the intake or the abhyasa of the opposite of this will cause the prashamana. This has been told in a very simple way. Fine, but how it will happen? But how the prakopa happens, how the prashamana happens, exactly that should be discussed. Therefore, that is the next agenda. Katam chainam asanghatam anavasitam anasadhyam prakopana prashamanani prakopayanti prashamayanti va. That was the question. How will that happen? Therefore, for that, the Badisha Dhamargava Rishi is answering to that. Vata prakopanani khalu ruksha, laghu, shita, daruna, khara, vishada, sushira karani shariranam. So now, earlier you can see that in any kind of discussion, hetu, that is when you are proving something or when you are explaining the mode of action of something, the earlier points which have been told, which becomes the karana or the hetu for that particular discussion, that will be brought out, it will be discussed properly with an example, and then it will be concluded. Therefore, you can see here that Vata Prakopanani Khalu Ruksha, Shita, Daruna, Khara, Vishada, Sushira Karani Shariranam. So, what they are telling that these particular gunas which have been enlisted or which have been proposed by Sankrityayana, these were accepted, of course, and with that only we are going further. Therefore, they are not denying that these particular gunas are not responsible for the prakopa. These are responsible, but they are telling the mode of action. That is how these gunas will enter into the sharira, or will make the sharira for the vata to get prakupita. Vata prakopanani khalu ruksha, laghu, shita, daruna, khara, vishada, sushira karani shari. Shushira means what? That is, Shushira means when it becomes more porous. This porosity will be usually seen. So what they are telling is these gunas which are enlisted above will make the sharira in that way. So shariranam in the sharira, these gunas, what they will do? Tatavideshu sharireshu vayurashrayam gatva apyayamanaha prakopam apadyate. So here you can see that there will be apyayana, that is guna apyayana. Apyayana means what? Here there is accumulation. Apyayamana, we say apya means one which is having the cohesive action, one which can bind together. That is called as apyayana. So apyayamana means what? It will start accumulating one by one. You can see that in the this concept is linked to the Paramanu Bhediya Sharira. In Paramanu Bhediya Sharira, you have already studied. That is in the Sharira Rachana, you have studied. Sharira Avayavastu Paramanu Bhedena Aparisankhya Bhavanti. Right? So, Ati Bahutvat, Ati Saukshmyat, then Atindriyatvat Chaiti. For Tesham Samyoga Vibhagayoho Karanam Vayuhu, it is told. Karma Sabhavacha. Once again they are telling that. So for the anutva of any kind of avayava in the sharira, the vata is responsible. That has been told in the Pramana Bhediya Sharira. And for the sanghata and the asanghatatva, that is or samyoga or viyoga of the anus or the paramanus, once again Vayu is responsible, we have told. And we also have accepted that it is the karma swabhava, it is the swabhava of the Vayu itself to be having these particular qualities, that is atindriyatva, atibahutva, etc. Here also we are telling that it is having anasvastita, asanghatatva, then it was also anasatya because it is having chalaguna in it. Therefore, we can see that these gunas of the vata, that is these shat gunas of vata, they embed into the sharira. That is, these are already present in the sharira, but they become more evident. Why they become more evident? Because there is addition. There is samanuguna abhyasamano hi dhatonam vriddhi karanamiti. So there is vriddhi karana. Therefore, it is going to get accumulated here. There is accumulation of the gunas of vata which are going to cause the prakopa. This has to be understood well. So tathavideshu sharireshu. So tathavideshu sharireshu means what? Tathavidihi. That is, it will become in that way, we are telling. Now, for example, we say that if in Subhashita it is mainly said Sajjana and Durjana, right? If you go in contact with a good person, then you become good. If you go if you have exposure towards bad persons or bad company, then you become like that. So therefore, here also you can see that if these gunas of vata or these gunas get embedded into the sharira, then the sharira will become like that. For example, now we said that in the winter season there will be a little bit of dryness in the skin. Why it has happened? Because there is rukshata. As there is rukshata, the skin also becomes ruksha. So whatever you are getting exposed to, that you are going to see in the sharira. So tathavideshu sharireshu means the sharira, the avayava of the sharira. It is not that the complete sharira will become like that. The avayava of the sharira will get that particular guna, or it is seen that it becomes like that. or happens like that. So tatha videshu sharireshu vayur ashrayam gatva apyayamanah prakopam apadyate. So vayur ashrayam gatva. So ashraya is where vayu ashraya means what? Vata is what? It is a group of gunas. Shadime gunaha, it is already told that these are the group of gunas which is representing this particular dosha, that is vata dosha. Therefore vayum ashrayam gatva. So ashrayatva of these gunas are seen in this particular sharira, which has become like the guna, that is the gunas have been embedded into the sharira. Therefore gatva apyamanaha prakopam apadyate. This will lead to prakopa of the sharira, of these gunas. So we say that vata vriddhi has happened, or vata prakopa has happened here. So now what is the reason for the prakopa? The reason for the prakopa is the apyayamanaha of the guna. That is apyayamanatva means the accumulation of the gunas which is happening in this particular junction. Vata prashamanani punaha snigdha ruksha snigdha guru ushna slakshna mrudu pichila ghanakarani shariranam. Now this sharira has become like that. So what you should do? Now you have to use the viparyaya. Prakopana viparyohi dhatonam prashamana karanani. It is already told that the answer is given. That is what should be done for the upashamana of the vayu. The Chikitsa Sutra has been told. So the same Chikitsa Sutra has been explained in detail here. That vata prashamanani punaha snigdha guru ushna slakshna mrudu pichila ghanakarani shariranam. Therefore the opposite or viparyaya guna of these have been enlisted in the same order. So here Vidhana Tantra Yukti is adopted. It is specifically applied here. You can see that whatever order of vata gunas had been told, the same order viparya to that has been added, has been proposed here. So vata prashamanani punaha snigdha, that is opposite to ruksha is snigdha, opposite to laghu is guru, opposite to shita is ushna, opposite to daruna is slakshna, opposite to khara is mrudu, opposite to vishada is pichila. Right? And then you can see that shushira karani sharirana, shushiratva was there, that is the porosity was seen. So the opposite of that is ghana, that is the density or solidity is seen. Right? So this particular nature, that is ghanatva, is also seen. So you can see that this shushira karani shariranam has been added. That is in the gunas it has not been told, but the tathavideshu sharira, in this sharira there will be shushiratva. Why this has been specifically added is because shushiratva is not a guna of vata. Shushiratva is the effect of the vata. That is what is specifically told here. Therefore, earlier they have told, no, evam gunaihi, evam dravyehi, evam prabhavahi. So, or because of the karma of these gunas, there will be prakopana. So therefore, when you say that if there is narrowing or if there is porosity seen, for example, if you take the example of osteoporosis, I say that vata vriddhi has happened. What has happened? The porosity has increased. So the sharira has become porous, or the avayava of the sharira has become porous here. It's not that there is vata getting, doing this particular function. The shushiratva is seen because of the vata prakopa here, apyayamana of these particular gunas like ruksha, daruna, khara, etc. And the effect is that the prabhava is seen that it has become more porous. Now it has to become more ghana. So if that will be the prashamana upaya here, for that you will be doing certain measures. So therefore, understanding this is important, that vata prashamanani, the prashamana of vayu, the answer for the prakopana is the prashamana doing in the opposite way, that is in the viparya way. For that what you are doing, punaha snigdha ruksha ushna slakshna mrudu pichila ghanakarani shariranam. तथाविदेषु शरीरेषु वायुः असज्यमानश्चरन् प्रशान्तिम् आपद्यते. So the prashanti means what? Prakashena shantihi. Shanti means no prakopa has happened. It has to be relieved, or it has to be alleviated. How you are going to do? You are going to use these particular gunas which are viparya to the gunas of the vata and you are using it. Tada videshu sharireshu vayuhu asajyamanaschcharan. That is not accumulating anywhere. Asajyamana means it is not getting accumulated or blocked anywhere. It is just moving. That is the anus of vata will be moving without any hindrance, without any obstacles, without any kind of interference. This will be usually seen if you are telling that the sharira has become snigdha or guru ushna slakshna mrudu pichila ghana, then the vata prakopa will not happen, or the prashanti of the prakopa will happen if you are going to make the sharira endowed with or embedded with these particular gunas. Okay, so these are the this is the way in which prakopa and the prashamana of vata is understood. Okay, so today we will be winding up with this particular concept. Tomorrow we will be dealing with the concept of vayu yantra tantradaraha. That is how this vata is responsible for the normal functions of the sharira and also in the loka. That is what are the guna of vata in the loka and the sharira. This will be discussed, and also the other aspects which have been discussed in the in this particular chapter. So today if you have any questions regarding the prakopa of vata, that is how the mode of action of the prakopa happens and how the prashamana happens, because this is a very important concept to be understood. Any questions can be posted in the Facebook, and also you can once the YouTube link is shared, there also you can post any questions. Thank you. We will meet in the next class and continue with the Vata Kala Kali Adhyaya. Dhanyavad.